Hello everyone, I'm Kayla, the maker and creator behind Crochet by Kayla, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be planning out my spring market prep and also just telling you all how I plan out my market prep for every single market, not specifically just for spring. So yeah, I'm very excited to show you all how I do it. I do not have an official craft show set that I'm doing for spring yet, but I know I'm going to be participating in a spring event. So I thought I would just go through and show you the process that I do for each market, and also a little bit how I debate how much I'm going to bring to each craft show. But I did do a video solely on that a while back, so I'll go ahead and link that down below. But this is kind of going to be that, but on a larger scale, and actually going through each individual product with me. So yeah, let's get to it. So what I'm going to do first is I have my iPad here, and I'm going to go and I'm going to refer back to a list that I have from a previous craft show. And if you know a craft show, obviously you're not going to have something to start with, but I'm sure you're going to have a list of product ideas. See, the reason I'm going back to a previous list from another craft show is because I do want to have a lot of my repeating bestsellers, and just so I don't have to type them all out again. If you don't already if you haven't already been doing craft shows, just we'll go through one at a time. I always separate my lists into different sections. So the sections I always have are the section for whatever season we are going into or we are currently in. So for a spring craft show, I'm going to have that first section of items labeled spring/summer, because I'm going to have a little bit of summer product. And then after that, we're going to go in and I put in the list of just normal plushies that I like to bring out again and again at each event that do not depend on the season. And then I have a category for anything else I have that doesn't fit in either of those, such as scrunchies that I have, or the boho rainbows, because those are not amigurumi. And yeah, just anything else that you'd put in that category. But my plushies category is strictly just for plushies. So basically anything I make with Parfait Chunky is in that, if it isn't already in the seasonal category. So yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go down the list in order. So what I have is I have my spring/summer category, and then I'm going to write down each of the items that I plan on bringing that are inside of that specific category. So what I have for that is I have flamingos, and I have strawberries and lemons, along with fish, and then I also have chicks and bunnies. And then I'm also going to add to this list some cows and the Mabel chickens. And then next to each of those items this is exactly how I laid out. So I have spring/summer, and then next to spring/summer, I'm going to put later on, after I decide how many items I'm going to bring in that category, I will put how many I have in that category. But for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to write how many of that item we are going to bring to the craft show. And I put a dash, I put the product name, and then I put the price. And then also, to make this easier while I'm prepping, I put how many of those I have. So if I'm bringing 8 flamingos and I have 0 done, I'm going to have 0/8 flamingos, and I sell them for $12. Or for the cows, I currently have 1 cow made. I am wanting to make 6 cows, and I'm going to sell those at the price point of $15. So I'm going to go through and do that for each one of those. But just to make, okay, sorry, my camera cut out. So just for right now, to make this simpler for video's sake, I am going to just explain everything I do and begin the process, but I will explain every single step of the process, even though I'm not going to type out every single step of my process right now. So the next thing I would do after I write how many products, how many of each product type that I'm going to make and the price, I'm going to go ahead and add up how many total products I am going to make in that category. So for instance, in this spring and summer category, I will probably have about a total of 40 items. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to add up how many of those I already have done. You might be starting from scratch for this. Or maybe you started some prep and you're like, I think I want to bring that, this, and this, and that. And then you're going to add up, okay, so I already have 12 of those 40 items in the category completed. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to do a little bit of math. And I'm going to say how much money in total I could make from the amount of items I have in this category. So usually my spring and summer category, I end up having, or just my seasonal category, I end up having about $300 to $400 in that category. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say I have $350 worth of inventory inside that category. And then I'm gonna read to you my plushies category. So for my plushies category, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and really quickly take out strawberries and lemons from my spring and summer category, and I'm going to add them to my plushies category, and then I'm going to go through with you, be right back, and go through with you how many of each item I have and give you a deeper look of everything I just previously explained, but with all the correct numbers. So for this event in the plushies category, I plan on making 71 items. I currently have 59 items done. This is just me reading this in the order it's presented on my screen. And then I am going to make a total of 8 Bs. I currently have 5 of those done, and those are $15. I'm going to make 12 octos. I have 9 done. Those will be for $10. I have 12 of 12 leggy frogs I plan on selling, and they're priced at $12. Turtles, I'm going to make 6, and I have 6 done, and they're going to be 20. Dinosaurs, I'm going to make 6. I have 4 done, and they are 18. Axolotls, I have 4 done, and that is all I'm going to make, and those are at $20. For the gummy bears, I currently have 8 completed, and I plan on making 12, and those are for $10. And then strawberries, I have 2, and I have those for $8. I currently have 3 of 3 lemons, and they're $8, and then I currently have 3 of 3 dogs completed, and those are $25. But I have 0 cats currently made, and I plan on making 3, and those will be for $25. So adding up the total profit I could make for those 71 items in my plushies category, that could get me $1,002 at this event alone. And then I'm gonna pull up a screen for my February event that I'm working on, and I'm gonna go ahead and just read this off to you, and I'm gonna copy and paste the same thing because I want to make the same amount for my claw machine at this spring event. So I'm just gonna copy and paste this, but I'll tell you how many of each I'm doing. So for my claw machine, I like to split it up evenly on how much I have for each thing. So I'm gonna have a total at my next craft show, a total of 30 items for the claw machine, and currently I have 25 done. I plan on bringing fish, frogs, blueberries, cookies, and stingrays. I think I'm gonna keep a lot of those the exact same for this next craft show I'm currently planning out with you all. I think I'll maybe just change out a few things. And I have it evenly divided, so I'm going to make 6 of each of those products. and they are sold for $5. So the total profit I could gain from my claw machine items in total is $150. So I'm gonna copy and paste that and move that to my next list, but I'm just gonna zero out the totals I have for each of those items. I think I'm gonna change out the cookies and find a new product for those. But besides that, I'm gonna keep that the same. So if you're not starting fresh for craft shows, the list to make them gets easier and easier and easier because you have a past reference to look from, and then you can also decide, those didn't sell that well, I don't want to make any more. So honestly, having experience in craft shows and knowing what your customers like is great, but starting from scratch also isn't too bad because there is so much advice they can look at, like Mabel chickens. This will be my first time selling the Mabel chickens, but I can already tell that they're going to be such great sellers because of all the people I've heard rant and rave about it on Instagram. And just, you can honestly tell sometimes how well something's going to sell if it's cute. If it's cute and if it's at a reasonable price point, it's going to sell so well. And then now I'm going to move on to my other category. So I have 3 scrunchies made, and I'm just going to keep it at 3 because they aren't a bestseller for me. And I'm going to put those at $5. And then rainbows, I currently have, I believe 4. Yeah, I think 4 made. So I'm going to do 4 scrunchies. 4 rainbows, because those are also, once again, not a bestseller for me. And then I priced those at $12. And yeah, so I think I'm going to have that be it for my other category. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this up. Alright, so that's 4 items, and that could be a potential $34 in profit for those. And then what I do after that, after I have for each category how much profit I could potentially make, I'm going to go ahead and add up how much profit in all I could make. So usually for me, I keep my inventory between about 1,600, and the most I've ever done was 2,000, which was at my December craft show. So that's about where I keep the range of how much inventory I bring. So yeah, and then I will also add up how many products in total I am going to be bringing with me, because that is something always good to keep track of, how many items you are bringing in total. I like to keep, obviously it fluctuates depending on how many items I bring at each price point, but I bring about 130 to 150 items each craft show, but I know that is a very large number, but it also is like a lot. Like, I'm making 30 things for the claw machine. Those are things that don't take a lot of time, so there's already 30 products. So if I'm bringing 150, there's only 120 more to make. That could be a little bit more time consuming, but honestly, prepping and making lists for craft shows really just takes a lot of thinking and some time. And yeah, it honestly is so fun for me though to plan out what I'm gonna make, because there are a lot of times I'm like, ooh, this looks like it could be a super fun project. I can't wait to integrate this into my craft shows, such as cows are gonna be brand new for me, and the chickens are gonna be brand new for me. Claw machine items are still fairly new to me, and I plan on in the future thinking of new things to make to put inside the claw machine. So I think it's always really fun to kind of get creative and think of what am I gonna bring. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today, and I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you all next time. I'm thinking the next video is going to be some patterns for the Valentine's season. So yeah, And yeah, I'll see you all next time. Make sure to check out the link in my bio for all of my social medias. Bye.